One Piece chapter 1167 spoilers are out. And as soon as the God Valley incident ends, one of the new storylines that started there is now being continued here. A storyline that is going to become a very major part of the entire story going forward. And that story is the battle between Shanks and Blackbeard, and finally how Blackbeard gave Shanks that scar. So brother, there are going to be some really crazy reveals in this chapter. But for now, let's talk about Harald. Because in the last chapter we saw how Harald entered Marineford and literally broke his horn there. He was pleading with the government to at least give the giants a chance to atone for their sins. And while the world government had been wanting this for a long time, for the giants to come under their control, they wanted to dominate the giants, turn them into slaves, and use them as soldiers. And the first one they use is Harald himself. The world government gives Harald a mission. He has to go along with marines and capture pirate ships that enter a certain region, a sea covered in thick haze and fog. And this misty, fog-filled area is none other than the Florian Triangle, where we had previously seen gigantic shadows. So Harald starts capturing pirates for the world government. Seeing this, the five elders summon Harald and engrave a tattoo on his arm. This is the same tattoo we see on the arms of the God's Knights. We are told that the entire God's Knight system and these tattoos are divided into three parts. First shallow, second deep, third abyssal. The abyssal tattoo is given only to the highest ranking members. Harald receives the shallow tattoo. Along with that, he is given a title, God's Blade, which is basically the third lowest rank, similar to the tattoo system. Possibly, the hierarchy goes like this: God's Blade, God's Knight, and then Gorosei. We also see Harald entering the domain of the God's Blade, the place where they live. There, he meets Figarland Garling, who gives him some kind of creature, through which instant communication is possible. And Harald doesn't just meet Figarland Garling, he also sees two twins there, Shanks and Shamrock. Yes brother, the story we are witnessing right now is set about 15 years in the past. This is where we see Harald meeting both Shanks and Shamrock, and by this time Shanks had literally already become a member of the God's Blade. Now we don't exactly know how Shanks first approached them, but one thing we do know is that Shanks' talent was on the same level as Shamrock's. The same way Shamrock was becoming famous inside Holy Land, Shanks must have also stepped forward in front of them, shown his abilities, and proven himself. And on top of that, he was also the son of Figarland Garling, so as soon as Shanks arrived he was given the title of God's Blade. A tattoo was engraved on Shanks' arm as well. Now it becomes easier to understand why Shanks eventually left the God's Blade, and why he allowed a monster to take his arm, because that Holy Knight tattoo was on that same arm. It's possible that Shanks only joined the Holy Knights in order to gather information from the inside, which is why he became a part of them in the first place. But during that time, even while living among the God's Knights 15 years ago, Shanks did something huge. We will learn that Shanks himself was the person who freed Fisher Tiger from Mariehua 15 years ago. And the surprising thing is that around this time, Shanks was wearing an eye patch over one of his eyes. So could it be that Blackbeard gave Shanks that scar around this same time? And because of that, Shanks started wearing an eye patch. All of this may have happened around the same time when Shanks lost his arm. Right now the timeline is a bit confusing, and we'll only be able to fully understand it once we read the chapter. But even so, one thing can be said for sure. Shanks definitely had a plan. But an even bigger plan belonged to Blackbeard. Blackbeard had been hiding in the shadows for a long time, and suddenly attacked Shanks and literally scarred him. Shanks himself had even talked to Whitebeard about this, how he never underestimated Blackbeard, and yet Blackbeard still managed to scar him. Along with this, the chapter also shows that suddenly, in Elbaf, Ida becomes seriously ill. Loki believes that someone has poisoned her. Seeing Ida's condition, Hudrudin sets out on a sea journey to either find his father or search for a cure, because they desperately needed a skilled doctor in Elbaf. But at the same time, rumors reach Loki's ears that Ida was definitely poisoned, and that the person who poisoned her might be someone from Estrid's hometown itself. After hearing this, Loki goes straight to that village to take revenge. He literally destroys the entire village. And there, shouting in front of everyone, Loki finally declares, "Ida is my only mother." At that moment, he completely accepts Ida as his mother, and no longer cares whether Astrid was his real mother or not. This is a very emotional scene where we see Ida and Loki talking to each other. And it's possible that Ida may even take her last breath here. Well, that's all that was there in the spoilers for now. We'll properly discuss everything inside the chapter. I'll see you in the full chapter review video. Till then, bye.